On January 18th, the Supreme Council of Ukraine approved in its second reading the law guiding state policy on the deoccupation and reintegration of the occupied parts of the Donbas region. 280 out of a total 450 People's Deputies voted in favor of the law. The vote followed 3 days of heated arguments. But in the end, even the representatives of the Batьківщина and Self-Reliance parties, who had been vocal critics of some aspects of this law, ended up voting in favor of it. Only the representatives of the former pro-Viktor Yanukovych Party of Regions, and in particular the opposition bloc, voted against this law.
Стосовно досконалості закону, він недосконалий. Однак, скажіть, будь ласка, ви, як журналіст, задовольняєтесь всіма вашими репортажами з Верховної Ради? От всі вони на 100% відповідають тому, що ви задумали? Я думаю, що ні. Також саме з цим законопроектом це якийсь розумний компроміс між всіма політичними силами.
Among the law's key provisions are the recognition of parts of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions as quote-unquote temporarily occupied, and the declaration of Russia as a quote-unquote aggressor state. The law makes no reference to the Minsk agreements, and it includes a clause on the Russian occupation of the Crimea. The law imposes responsibility for moral and material damages in the occupied territories on Russia. It also greatly expands the powers of the Ukrainian army in the occupied territories, and allows the president, in situations of danger, to deploy the army without the Supreme Council's approval. These special powers of the president and the Ukrainian army have been among the most contested aspects of this law.
Ось ця правка, вона найбільш суперечлива, тому що фактично ми порушили цим Конституцію.
Якраз ми повноваження дали для того, щоб час прийняття рішень скорочувався, щоб ми могли моментально відповідати на ті виклики, які з'являються в ту ж секунду.
Although the law does not specify how Ukraine can actually regain control over the occupied territories, almost all analysts agree that the approval of the law has been a very significant development. Most importantly, the law establishes a legal framework for the situation in the Donbas that reflects the true state of affairs. This should prove crucial in possible future legal suits against Russia in international courts. But the actual far-reaching effects of this law will really only become known with time. For now, the reaction of Russia and of pro-Russian politicians in Ukraine indicates that Russia is very unhappy with the passing of this law. Moscow has strongly condemned the law, and on January 19th, Russian President Vladimir Putin held a meeting of the Russian Security Council to discuss, among other things, the situation in the Donbas. The pro-Russian opposition bloc in the Supreme Council of Ukraine has registered an amendment that effectively blocks the implementation of the new law until the beginning of the new parliamentary session on February 6th. However, this desperate measure can only delay, but cannot derail, the implementation of the new law. I'm Tanya Steck, and this is Ukraine in the News.
Канал 1+1 тепер доступний на Bell International Programming.